Hey everyone, it's your girl TeraMichelle. Welcome to or welcome back to my channel, Opinionated Scents, our safe space to discuss all things fragrance, whether we like them or not. Today's video is in collaboration with Dossier. I know you guys love them. You talk to me about them all the time, and I'm so glad that you're picking up my recommendations and loving them, because that is the most important part. So for anyone who does not know about Dossier, where have you been? Where have you been? They're a TikTok sensation. Even though I don't have TikTok, they were a sensation for me before I knew what a TikTok was. This is an inspiration house who actually now has 3 of their own original creations. So they are making their own fragrances now. They send you out this nice little card that gives you all the information you need on the fragrance as well as the fragrance. If you like that minimalistic look, you know, like Byredo, commodity, things like that, you're going to love their packaging as well as the magnificent magnetic top, which shouldn't make me as happy as it does, but it does. I never get tired of it. So I'm dropping stuff over here, not paying attention to me. This one is called Citrus Tea. So based on this card here, and I'll hold the bottle up for you guys, the notes are also conveniently on the bottle. So Citrus Tea is inspired by Le Labo's, and that's another one that's minimalistic, I believe. Le Labo. Yeah, have I seen their bottles? I think I have. I think they're minimalistic like this as well. The Noir 29 Eau de Parfum. So again, the Dossier version is called Citrus Tea. The top notes are bergamot, fig, and black tea. The middle notes are bay leaf, tobacco, jasmine, and vetiver. And the base notes are cedarwood, musk, hay. I've seen hay in one other thing. I can't remember, but that's so interesting. Peach and incense. So I have never heard of the Noir 29 Eau de Parfum. So let's go ahead and test this. I tested it when I first got it, and I don't remember because I got 6 of them and I was testing like crazy that day. You know what? I should try to let y'all see that atomizer. It's gonna follow. Ooh, child, that is strong. And I just sprayed 400 sprays. Woo! Woo! Okay. Let's get some oxygen up in here. I don't even need to smell the stick at this point. I like this. I like this. There is definitely tobacco in here, which is one of my least favorite notes, but this isn't dirty, funky tobacco. This is like the tobacco from some of those sweet cigars that those Silver Fox Squad men have. And I just use them as a reference because I just really love watching them on the internet, looking at them. That smells sweet on the air. Like if you're not in an enclosed cigar bar, but instead you are like standing at the street getting ready to catch your Uber, and they're at the other end of the street, and the wind brings the slightest, sweetest smell from it. That type of tobacco. The only way I can deal with tobacco. And it's still fresh, spicy. This is interesting. This is interesting. I find it odd that I like this because it's so, I definitely feel like it could be unisex, leaning slightly more feminine, but the sweetness in this, the calming from the black to the fig, baby, it's that fig that's really, I like this though. Okay, so I'm not supposed to be adding anything to my collection. And this to me feels fall, winter, definitely. This isn't one that I'll be reaching for right now, but this is really good. It makes me want to get the original. Because I'll tell you this about Dossier, and some other inspiration houses are the same way. But Dossier is so great at finding out what people were complaining about during the original or in the original. Like if it was too much patchouli, they'll dial it back. I prefer the Dossier version of Mon Paris by YSL because the patchouli in that one, in the Eau de Parfum, was just too much. But when I smell the Dossier one, I can tell they dialed back that patchouli. So now I'm curious about what the original smells like. And I might try to get a sample of it, but I like this. It's a grown fragrance. This definitely reminds me of a woman in her 30s and above, someone who is like a femme fatale. This is definitely sexy biker chick or sexy little black dress, Angelina Jolie in Wanted type of vibes, or, just in Mr. and Mrs. Smith, just someone who is powerful and strong, knows that she's sexy and can use that to her advantage, not by being immoral or anything like that, but just owning and commanding a room and maybe getting attention where she normally wouldn't because she's a female. So I like this one. Dang, I didn't even mean to get that deep. I don't even remember it being that deep when I first sprayed it. So I'm kind of glad I took the time to forget what I first experienced, and then it feels like a first impression with you guys here again. So Dossier, as always, thank you so much for sending me this fragrance. I really appreciate it. It's such an intriguing fragrance. And notice with all the sprays that I sprayed, even though it was really strong to me, like it was in my nostrils, I didn't cough or choke not one time. It is a beautiful fragrance with a very strong presence, but it's not overwhelming or overbearing, even with all those sprays. Now for the moment you all have been waiting for. I have been getting so many questions about this fragrance. I am going to be reviewing KAYALI's Yum Pistachio Gelato 33, but I'm also going to be doing a side-by-side comparison of the original Pistachio Gelato for me. So there could be a ton of fragrances out here with that name. I don't know them though. The House of Dua, the Dua brand, created Pistachio Gelato, I believe last year, because I feel like I've had it at least 6 months or more. I really think more. So I'm going to go ahead and start with Pistachio Gelato from the House of Dua because it was created first. I almost dropped this thing, baby. You see, I caught it though. That's how much I love it. So I'm going to spray it for you guys. And just opens up. Okay. I'm not going to sugarcoat things. I love this fragrance. Smelled it once, immediately ordered a backup bottle. This is beautiful. It is the epitome of a gourmand fragrance. This is not going to be split. You're not going to have 50% of the people talking about, oh yeah, it's a gourmand, and the other 50% saying, no, it's not. There's no question about this being a gourmand. There's no question about you smelling the pistachio in here. This is absolutely yummy. It's absolutely delicious. There's a butteriness to it. And I'm using buttery in the sense of a vibe or a feel, not the fact that it actually smells like butter, because those of you in the Terra Squad who've been here long enough, you know I don't like butter. I don't put butter on anything. I don't cook with it. Just yuck to me. But this is like a smooth, like butterscotch toffee butter type of thing. Maybe I shouldn't be using the word butter, but we say buttery when we're talking about toffee and things like that. So that's how I mean it. God, it smells so good. So this is it for me when it comes to a pistachio fragrance, which I have been looking for years. This is the best one I've come across. I've only tried a few, so I'm not going to claim to be an expert, but this is what I was looking for. So with Pistachio Gelato from Dua, the notes are pistachio cream, vanilla cream, gelato accord, pistachio powder, pistachio custard, and white musk. If you're looking for pistachio, just based off these notes, you know you're going to get it from here. This stick does not do it justice. And the air is so amazing. On this stick, it still smells good, but the stick kind of like mutes it a little bit. Whereas in the air right now around me, baby, that's all I smell. It's creamy in the way that icing on a cake is. Not necessarily creamy like you want this, ice cream type of vibe. It's not that type of creamy, but it's creamy in the sense that you feel like something was whipped. Like somebody had one of those spinning cake mixy thingies. I'm not giving myself away because I don't be out here baking cakes like that. And they're just whipping it up kind of creamy, but not a lactonic creamy. And the perfect amount of sweetness. It just reminds me of some type of amazing baked dessert with toffee or, English toffee or something in it with a beautiful nuttiness. full-bodied and robust. Baby, this is sexy. You can't tell me nothing about this at all. The longevity for me is about 6 hours before I have to start looking for it. The performance otherwise, when you first put this thing on, it's projecting the sillage, you know what I'm saying? The longevity, it just is there for me. Because here's the thing, I wore this a lot in the winter, and I told you before, when you're here in the Midwest on them super cold days, that wind will snatch not just the fragrance off your skin, but the moisture, the life, your skin itself, if you're not covered up properly. So to get 4 hours where I'm still like, yes, I smell it, especially if you're wearing a coat or a sweater, it's going to continue to keep warm with your body heat. And I love it. But I still top up at like that 4 to 6 hour mark just because I want to get back to the opening. And it does smell pretty consistent all the way through, but I'm talking about the opening where everybody else is going to smell me because I just sprayed it. I want to engulf the entire building. I want to consume all the souls in the building with me and have them just as happy as I am when I'm wearing that fragrance. Now, this is for true gourmand lovers. And here's the thing. This is what I'm not getting ready to do. Somebody messaged me the other day and asked me if I was going to review this. And I said, yes, I am, which is why I put it on my Instagram. Look, it's coming soon, y'all. All of these questions in the fragrance groups and on Instagram and on some of my other videos, it's coming. But I wanted to spend my time with it. I kind of sort of wanted a little bit of the hype to die down so that I could just think about how I really felt. And I've been busy in real life, guys. I got a lot going on. So she said, I'm really tired of this debate and I want to talk about what gourmand really means. So she was asking me what I thought. And I said, well, you said you want to talk about what it really means. You tell me. I'm curious because I could just get the vibe that if I hadn't given her the answer that she wanted, I'd have been another part of her problem, right? So she came and told me, I can't make this stuff up. She said that a gourmand means something that you can eat, plain and simple. If it's a fruity floral, it's a gourmand because you can eat some florals and you can definitely eat fruit. I'm not arguing with that. If that is your take of gourmand, run with it. You got it. That's you. This is the epitome of what gourmand is for the majority of the rest of us in FradCom. I don't look at fruity florals as gourmands. I also don't think, heck, if you wanted to chew on a tobacco leaf, I think you could eat that too. I'm not. We're not doing that. So if you're the type of person who falls for the normal or believes in the normal, most popular use of gourmand in fragrance, then there's no doubt that Pistachio Gelato from Dua is going to be what you're looking for. This isn't so heavy and decadent, though, that you can't pull it off in spring. I don't think that I would reach for this in 90 to 100 degree weather in the summer. But on a cool summer night where we're talking 70 to 75 degrees, baby, be a whole snack. Be a whole dessert, okay? This is gorgeous. Gorgeous. I love it. Can you tell? Now for the newest addition from KAYALI. This is Yum Pistachio Gelato 33. I only purchased the travel because I knew I already had the pistachio fragrance for me. But if this would have been one that was fire, then I definitely would have had no problem going and purchase a full bottle. This is not one that I need in my collection, but that doesn't mean that I don't like it. My favorite thing about it is the packaging of that bottle, though. That pastel green is so beautiful to me. I don't have anything like that in my collection, but you guys know I do not purchase fragrance for the bottle. I could see me getting this one once I dwindle my collection down more, which, by the way, I'm in the 200, y'all. I'm at 299 because I'm about to do another declutter, and I just gave away like 19 fragrances in between the two locations I work at work. So 299. I haven't seen the 200s in a while. Yeah, I'm so proud of myself. So let's go ahead and spray. This is a travel, so the added matter doesn't really matter, but it is nice. It is a nice. See, this automatically comes off so clean and slightly soapy. I don't like soapy fragrances, so it's a little off-putting at first. I get the soapiness tremendously on my skin. I'm not a skin wearer, I just use that, or I do that when I'm first trying something and I'm testing it, so I know how it performs on my skin and on my clothes and things like that. I do it all. But I'm not a skin wearer, so it doesn't matter to me that I really do not like this fragrance on my skin at all. It smells like a chemical soapy mess to me. But a lot of fragrances do that since I had COVID. I think on my skin, my nose is picking up every freaking chemical compound part of this thing, like it does in other fragrances. So that's not a dig on them. They're not the only ones. But I don't spray on my skin when I normally wear it, so it doesn't matter. But for testing purposes, I like to be thorough. I do not understand how anybody finds this to be a gourmand. Again, that's not up for debate. It's my nose. If you pick up gourmand, or if you think gourmand is anything you can put in your mouth and chew and swallow, more power to you. But this is not a gourmand fragrance to me, especially not in the opening in the mid. It is pretty. Definitely a pretty for the sake of being pretty fragrance. I do pick up like a tail end, back end nuttiness. Not the way that but there is a huge difference in the type of pistachio you're going to get from the Dossier version and this one. This is clean, soapy, perfumey type of nuttiness. I don't like perfumes. What I will say is I pick up that gelato-ness. It almost pulls like ice cream, to be honest. And it is creamy in the way that like vanilla ice cream melts on your tongue creamy. So a different creaminess from the Dossier version, but that creaminess that I am always intrigued by. When people can pull that off in a fragrance, I'm really impressed. It's not strong, it's not potent on the creaminess, but it's there. And I do like this. I think it is pretty. I don't think it's worth the price tag. Just my opinion. I would be paying more for the packaging, because I love that packaging, than the juice inside with that price tag. This it didn't wow me. It didn't impress me. I think the descriptions that were given were misleading for some people. Oh, a nice summer gourmand. I don't find this to be gourmand, but there can be a lot of people who do, so that's fine. I wasn't really looking for it to be gourmand because I'm kind of used to, listen, when I hear Mona talk about her fragrances, I'm like, that's fine. Whatever she said is fine. I'm going to smell it for myself because I almost never agree with her on how she describes it. Just because she interprets it one way doesn't mean I don't like it. So I do like this. If someone gifted this to me, I would wear it in the spring and in the summer. I just won't be purchasing it. If my collection was down to where I wanted, like if I wanted my collection at 50 and I had 49 bottles, I might have purchased this one for spring and summer just because it's something I haven't had before, just because I love that bottle and because it is pretty for the sake of being pretty. I own a ton of Marc Jacobs fragrances, so we know I'm not against pretty for the sake of being pretty, but this is not a gourmand fragrance to me. This is not one that's great for lasting either. The projection and all of that is there when you first put it on, like much with anything, but it quickly dies down. I found myself looking for this fragrance all day the first time I wore it, and I ended up topping up 3 times. Just a couple of sprays because I only have a travel, but you see, I did put a little bit of work into it. So, yeah. I don't know. I feel like I would have to go through that bottle relatively quickly just to get the kind of performance I like. Because if it wasn't just me trying to test what I was smelling, I would have used this whole bottle in that first wear. Because I would have kept spraying until it got to the projection level that I wanted. And again, that doesn't match that price tag, you know? We know now that KAYALI is known for that 4-hour mark of longevity for the majority of us. Now you have some diehard stans who swear it lasts 20 hours. You got it. Again, I'm not doing that. I'm not arguing back and forth because my experience is going to be different from her experience, his experience, their experience. So it's not up for debate. I can only tell you what my experience is and how I interacted with this and it interacted with me. So for all of you who love this fragrance and you just think it's the bee's knees, congratulations. I'm glad you found something new that you like. For me, or that you love. For me, I do like it. I do think it's pretty. I will say that the second time I wore it, I liked it more than the first time. So this feels like one of those fragrances you might like the more and more that you wear it. But when you have this one, and the goal for you was a pistachio fragrance that's a gourmand, you never want to hear about this one or talk about it again. And this is the only thing that matters. So that's just my 2 cents on it. I think if you're a collector, if you like the packaging, and that's how you choose your fragrances, that you should probably pick this up. I think if you're truly looking for a gourmand fragrance, you should pick up the one from Dua. If you can afford to do both, just for different variations, and you're not really looking for a strong pistachio note, get you, KAYALI. I mean, I would have changed the name on this thing. There's just a lot of tweaking I would have done, from either just removing it, moving away from trying to make this a pistachio fragrance, or making sure it was really a pistachio fragrance. But Mona liked it. So that's all that matters. And there's a bunch of you that do too. So, sorry, not sorry. That is it for today's video. If you're still here, please do not forget to click the like button, comment, share, subscribe, select the notification bell, all that good, yummy, delicious stuff. Come talk to me in the comments. Tell me if you have both of these, if you've compared them, if you tried them. Tell me if you have one or the other, or if you're interested to get one or the other now based off my descriptions. Let's talk about all of it in the comments. As always, I love talking to you guys, so I'll see you there. And until then, bye.